Welcome to peerlearning.net. Today we are going to walk through the process of creating a lesson. We will use an existing lesson as an example. Here we have created a botany lesson targeting 7th graders. This is a wizard-like lesson design process. The first step requests that we input information about the lesson itself. What is the lesson type? For example, in this case, we've created a jigsaw lesson. What is the subject of the lesson? Science, math, social studies, language arts, etc. What is the domain or topic of the lesson? What grade does it target? And what is the title of the lesson? These things are used to identify the lesson within the lesson library. They are key information about the lesson. Next, we upload the lesson content. This can be done in the form of PDFs or web links to primary sources. Since this is a jigsaw lesson, what we have done as the instructor is to divide the lesson content into pieces. In this case, the lesson content is divided into 3 pieces, and a PDF file was created for each piece. Students during the jigsaw lesson will focus on one of these pieces, will become an expert with others, and then will teach their group. The third step is where we input the note-taking prompts that we want to give to students. We can create any number of these prompts, and these are meant to guide the students in terms of what they have learned from their readings. We may also use a separate sheet if we happen to be teaching in person. We may have a formatted PDF that we want to use in the classroom, in addition to the note-taking capabilities that are within peerlearning.net. We may also wish to create a follow-up task. This occurs after the students are finished teaching one another, and this asks each group to apply what they have learned to a new problem. Here again, we can upload a PDF or we can upload a link that directs the students to some location on the internet. In this step, we put information in that is meant to guide the students in understanding the purpose of the lesson. We will give each lesson a learning goal. We will describe the follow-up activity if there is one. We will describe the way in which students will be assessed for what they will be learning during this lesson. And finally, we may elect to create a bonus in which students are incentivized to become interested in the learning of their colleagues in their group. In this case, if the group gets at least 80% on the follow-up activity, then the group all receives bonus points. This is a form of interdependence called reward interdependence, and this is one of the many ways that peer learning can incentivize students to help and assist the other students in their group to learn the content. Finally, we can define the length of each phase of our lesson. In this case, the jigsaw lesson follows a specific set of steps, whereby students prepare in groups to teach, they practice, then they do their peer instruction, then they have follow-up activity, and then they have some post-lesson processing. A teacher can set the recommended class length and then can set the amount of time that is required for each step of this lesson. Note that if a phase is going quicker than anticipated, this teacher can always move to the next phase before the time is up. And if more time is required in a specific phase, the teacher can always pause the lesson and take additional time if needed. Once our changes are published, then we can launch our lesson. That will be the topic of the next video.